Welcome back to Speak Unspoken. This platform was created to give voice to the voiceless. Your voice can become a prison, but telling the truth, even when it hurts, can set you free. Today, we have Tosha Dearbone on the show.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Yes, I am so excited to have her on this show. Just to give a little backdrop, I've been serving alongside Tasha for over a year now. And on Sunday, I was blown away by this woman's testimony. Normally, when I interview people, it's like 30 minutes tops. Sunday, I talked to her for over 2 hours. Her story is so compelling, it's so raw, it's truth, it's forgiveness, it's healing, and she is ready to share it with the world. Well, she already been sharing it with the world over other different platforms, but I'm just now knowing about it. So I just want to say thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for allowing God to use you to even say you will even come on the show. Yeah. And I know for a fact, this is something that not only women, but men need it as well. Yeah. Kids need it as well. Yeah. Because we all go through cycles of life, not understanding the cycle until later. And sometimes God will put people in front of you so you can start identifying with certain things early. Yes. Yes. So I just want to say thank you.
You're welcome.
Man, y'all, I just been so just happy and elated, and it's just so many things that you could stand next to somebody almost every Sunday and not know who you labor amongst. That is so true.
That is true.
Know who you labor amongst, you know, and you gotta give people what the world needs. When they have something that God has gifted them with, even if it's through trauma, drama, whatever the case may be, somebody needs to hear it. So with that being said, the title of this episode is called The Strength of a Broken Mother. It's a lot, y'all. So this is going to have to be a 2-3 part series. But I know God is going to do something amazing through this, through Tosha Dearbone. And I cannot wait to the end so she can tell you guys all the things that she has going on. I was so impressed. So impressed. So let's get started. Man, Tasha. Oh my God. You have such an incredible story.
Thank you.
An incredible story.
Oh God.
Oh God.
Oh God.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh God. So when you heard the word or the phrase, the strength of a broken mother, what's the first thing that resonates in your mind?
So when God gave me that title, it instantly brought to me all of the mothers that are broken, all of the people that are trying to stay strong while they're trying to press forward, even trying to prevail. You know, prevail is to win, but we can't win if we don't press. Right. So being that strength of a broken mother is my testimony of coming from a place of having to know that God is walking through this with me through it all. Knowing that even when I feel like I want to quit and throw in the towel, that He is still holding me up, even while I'm going through the battles and the struggles and all the things with whatever it is that I'm battling with. God is my strength, and I am a mother. So I have been broken, but God is my healer.
Amen. Amen. So Tasha, we're going to jump right into it. So for the audience, this conversation is going to get raw.
Yeah.
It's going to be uncut, but it's going to be her truth.
Amen.
And one thing about your truth, it will set you free.
Absolutely.
And so Tasha, can you take the audience down the path of your conception?
Yes. Okay. So I come from a family of 5 children. My mom and 5 children. There's 4 boys and 1 girl. Being that I like to look at my story as coming out of a wound of rejection. My mother was adopted, which she did not find out till later on. Being that I came into this world feeling unloved, unwanted, unaccepted, I was surrounded around people that I still felt like I was isolated and put in a box by myself. I felt like there was no one there with me. I felt like there was no one even seeing me. It's hard to say that, but I didn't feel seen. I didn't feel love. nobody in the household shared that kind of compassion with me. They didn't say those things to me. So just being that I started off coming out of a woman that did not know her identity, that did not know that she was even adopted for that matter until years later. And that could be a hard thing to deal with, to find out something like that at the age of 17. But for me, coming out, it was already a situation of I was going to be broken. I was going to be rejected. I was bound to be feeling like I was abandoned. Yeah.
Yeah, especially that abandoning rejection. Even like myself, I've shared, when we first started the show, that I didn't meet my dad until I was 12. And so I went through life like trying to figure out, what is my identity?
Right.
Who am I?
Yeah.
And it wasn't up until I did a bloodline mapping when I was in a mentorship program that I learned so much even about my dad's side. And so then it started to make sense why I'm the way I am.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and that's pretty much me. I went through life trying to find that identity, because again, my mom didn't share a lot of things. She still doesn't share a lot of things. So it's like, if I didn't have those dreams that I was having, I would never know even where I come from or how I was conceived, or where certain things happen that she was not releasing to me. So to find out my identity is still a challenge, because I'm still trying to find parts of me of why I do certain things, why I act a certain way, and it's hard. It can be hard.
Right.
Yeah.
So you mentioned in childhood you felt rejected, you felt abandonment, all these things. So for the most part, you felt unseen.
Absolutely.
So in your life, what age did you go search to be seen?
So I want to say I started off really early, and it's because my dad passed away when I was 7. My dad passed away from HIV and AIDS through a blood transfusion he got back in the 80s, where he was in an altercation where him and my stepfather actually had a fight, and he got shot, and so being that way that I lost my dad at an early age, that was another part of me that I didn't know who I am. So it was like, man, all of this is happening to me, but I don't even know who I am. So here I am trying to look and find those things in everybody else. And I couldn't find it that way. And it was a struggle. It was a real struggle trying to search and seek my identity even at the age of 7.
So it started that young.
It started young.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So you mentioned that your mom had other children, which you have brothers, and you're the only girl, right?
I'm the only girl.
So even being the only girl, you would think like your brothers will be trying to cover you and love on you because you their baby sister.
Yeah, that's what I always wanted. I didn't get that. They were more so, because my 3 older brothers are from a different father, and then me and my younger brother have the same father. But even in that, they were kind of like separated. They was in a room, literally in the room next to mine, and we didn't have conversations. We didn't talk about things. We didn't embrace each other. Most of the times, it was them cursing me out, telling me to get out the room, things like that, when I was just trying to be around them and just feel their love. And I didn't feel that. I didn't feel any of it. And I remember when my brother passed last year, I remember the people that was at the funeral, they was like, we didn't even know he had a sister.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Your blood brother passed away, and people didn't even know he had a biological sister.
They didn't even know he had a biological sister.
Did they know he had a biological mama living?
Yeah.
So people knew your mom.
They knew mom. They didn't know me.
Oh, wow. How did that make you feel?
Oh, it cut. It cut, because that wasn't the first time I heard it. I actually heard it the first time at one of my brother's house. They had a Christmas party, and I was serving food. I'm a server, y'all. So I was serving, and one of the ladies that came through the line, she was like trying to get something, and I think she asked my brother, like, who is she? And my brother was like, that's my sister. And that right then and there, everybody was like, we didn't even know you had a sister. We came to your house all the time. Where was she? I was always in my room. I literally closed myself in a room all the time. So, I mean, it's possible that they couldn't have known, and then my brothers didn't talk about me.
Right. You know what? Like, in the industry, I do hair for a living, and people always say, "Friend, you're the only child," and I be like, "No, I got other siblings," and they be like, "But you just act like the only child," and that's crazy for people to identify that in you because you're such a loner.
Yeah,
you know, and man, and even with my sisters, like I love my sisters, but we're not tight.
Right.
And my mom really hate that because she really wants us to have a strong bond. Like I see girls, you know, and brothers and sisters, they are really tight, but I'm there for them, but we don't just have like a strong bond, if that makes sense.
Yeah, me and my brothers did not have a close relationship at all. I really yearned for that. Like growing up, I wanted to be around them. I wanted to do the things they were doing. I wanted to go places they were going, but I didn't get to do any of those things. I didn't get to do those things, and it hurt for a lot of years to not feel like I was accepted by them. I felt like they just did not want me around.
Wow. And so not feeling being accepted and want you around, like, can you take the audience back to your conception, you knowing that your dad died, but in the midst of all that from conception to 7, like what transpired in your life and steady kept transpiring in your life that even caused a lot of childhood trauma for you?
So I would say at the age of 3, I was pushed into a glass table. At the time, I was told that I fell into this glass table and I was beating my head on the table because I wanted to go with my dad. It wasn't until years later that a dream was revealed to me that my brother actually tried to kill me. And I mentioned that to him, and he laughed. My mom was standing there. Nobody denied it. So at that moment, I knew that had to have some truth to it, right? So it started at 3 years old, just being that, why did you try to do those things to me? What made you in your right mind decide to push me into this glass table and then wish death on me? Because he said you should have died when you hit your head on the table.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that was one start. And then here I am at 7 years old and I'm being molested by a cousin that was at my dad's house. This was the last time I saw my dad. I was visiting him for the weekend, and that cousin took on the fact that he could do those things. My dad left to go to the store. As he left to go to the store, my cousin, I was coming out of the restroom, my cousin was laying on the couch. And at that time, I don't know what grooming is or grouping or none of the things. And he asked me to touch him inappropriately. In my right mind, I'm like, what is this? But I'm afraid to say anything. Right. So he didn't tell me not to tell my dad, but I felt like if I told my dad, it wouldn't end well. I thought I was going to lose my dad or he would end up in jail, whatever it is. I just didn't feel like I wanted to put that kind of responsibility on my dad and make him feel like he got to choose. Protect me and your cousin because this is his cousin. And so I didn't tell. I kept silent. I didn't want to see anyone get hurt. So I didn't say anything for years. Here I am at 11 years old. I get molested by a friend, a girl at that. We were playing house. Everybody plays house when they're young and they're feeling like, okay, you're the mom. I was a mom. She was a dad. I didn't think nothing of it, but I remember her touching me inappropriately in places that she shouldn't have been doing. And I kept quiet about that. And I remember going on a trip with her. And when I went on this trip with her, her stepfather, I believe, either a stepfather or her mom's boyfriend, it was a male figure. And he would always touch himself in front of us. I felt like that was a little weird, but I didn't realize that till I was older. And I look back at that situation and that trip. So we went to Las Vegas. And I remember him doing all those things in front of us and thinking it was okay. And I said, wow, I wonder if she was touched or if something happened to her that made her feel like it was okay to do those things to me, right? Because they say what you do in front of children, it will be repeated.
Alert behavior.
Yeah, it's alert behavior. So that happened, and the pattern didn't stop for me. It kept going because here I am at the age of 13, 14 years old, and my brother friends, mind you, our rooms are close together. He comes to my room in the middle of the night and he's touching me underneath my clothes, rubbing my breasts, touching my legs, all of the things. And then I wake up and I'm like, what are you doing? And I must have scared him when I said it. And all he could say was, man, please don't tell your brothers. They'll kill me. Mm-hmm. Don't tell your brothers. So I'm not trying to tell anybody because here I am remembering. Mm-hmm. If I tell somebody, somebody's going to get hurt. Somebody's going to end up in jail. Mm-hmm. I didn't want to see those things, and I didn't want them to get hurt, and I didn't want the other people to get hurt. So I didn't say anything. Years and years, kept continuing, passing the same pattern. I'm still silent, y'all. I'm still not sharing anything with anybody. I ended up getting pregnant at 15. And when I got pregnant at 15, my mom forced me to have an abortion. I wasn't asked. I wasn't given a choice. I immediately had to have an abortion. And I still think about that sometimes because that would have been my fifth child, right? So needless to say, I stayed in relationships that were abusive because of the patterns that I was going through, and I didn't have or feel like I was protected, right? So here I am at 19 and I get sexually assaulted again. I'm raped by a child's father. So I have 2 children at this time. I'm pregnant at 19 and I have a gun put to my head. The gun put to my head and I'm like, I can't do this, but I know it had to be the Holy Spirit because here I am standing up to this 6 feet tall man and I'm 5 feet and I'm telling him, no, enough is enough. Right. And all of the abuse that he was doing was because of the cheating that he was doing. And the cheating just continued. And I got, I was being financially abused. I was being verbally abused. I was being spiritually abused from all of them. And I was just like, why does this keep happening to me? Right. It wasn't until 2024, I was driving home and here I am driving with one of my kids' father and I'm being drove off the road pretty much off the Beltway and being told that these girls they're coming after me because they're wanting to get to him. But at the same time, I'm pregnant. I can't fight anybody. I can't do anything. I got to defend myself. So here I am getting off the freeway to be able to get help. So I called my cousins and again, they handled the situation, but it still felt I still felt in a place of why me? Right. Why these things keep happening to me? I've been abused by my brother. I've been in sexual abuse situations. I've been in verbal and physical situations where I'm being abused constantly over and over and over. And 25 is when I said enough is enough. I hate that it took me to get into an altercation with a child's father to the fact that I had to fight back. I fought back all of them. But this particular one, I fought back with grabbing a butcher knife. I tried to cut his hand off. And I didn't care who was going to get hurt, who was going to whatever. But I called the police. And again, they tried to press charges. They wanted me to press charges. I refused. He refused. But to this day, I thank God because I'm able to even forgive all of those situations. All of them. Yeah.
So, man, you had to get to the point where you say enough is enough. But I'm going to go back because you said something. You said 3, 7, 11, right? 15, 19. So, even though you was a victim, you kept trying to protect and save everyone else. Yep. But this is the thing. That's why you have to know your DNA, right?
Absolutely.
And the fact that your mom never talked about certain things that happened in her life, right?
Absolutely.
Is going to continue to repeat itself until somebody fully addresses it, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And so all that transpired and it took for you to be 25, it took to you to damn near lose your life.
Yeah.
Because that man could have pulled that trigger.
Oh, absolutely. He could have killed me then.
Right. But God said it ain't so, right?
Yeah, right.
And God knew it would be a time where you would have to share your story, right?
Yeah.
And I know it's been times even in my own life I say, Lord, why did I have to go through this? Like, why? But I didn't get molested or nothing like that. But just the fact of not knowing my daddy,
right,
that really took a toll on me.
Yeah,
it really did.
Yeah, it does.
It really did. And so God knows our future, and what the enemy tries to do, he try to come and take hold of it, so we can't get to that place. So the devil fought like hell for you not to get to the place that you are right now.
Yeah.
Because honestly, you're a staple in the community. And a lot of people don't even know that. That you go into the community, you do all these good things for young children, grown men, you just have a heart for people. And the enemy tried to stop that. And so, Tasha, I just want to go back into the childhood trauma. So early you had to fight. It's like I had to fight. I had to fight to be seen. I had to fight to be loved. Like even with your kid's dad, what made you choose that type of man?
So I think I chose that type of man because I was familiar with it. I was familiar with the patterns of women and men fighting. I saw at age 8 my brother fighting his baby mom, and them fighting. I knew in my mind that it was wrong. I called the police, because I'm trying to protect her. But at the same time, it still put a wedge in between me and my brother. So this brother particularly is the same brother from the age 3 years old incident, where that probably put more fire on that, because here he is getting into an argument with her. They're fighting. I saw that, but I remember asking my mom, did you and my dad fight? Like, she said no, but it's hard to believe that, because I look back and I see, okay, where did my brother and them learn this from? They wasn't around their dad.
Right.
They were around my dad growing up. So they had to have seen something to feel that it was okay to fight on women, or to whatever the case may be when it comes to putting your hands on somebody else that you're not supposed to. And seeing them do those things, I felt that it was okay for me to fight back. So if I'm fighting back, I looked at it as, it's not abuse.
Right. So psychologically, you trained yourself to say, long as if a man hit me and I hit him back, he not abusing me, we just fighting.
Right.
So that's an emotional impact. That's something that started so young, right? And then without your mom really fully telling you the truth, but the Holy Spirit reveals certain things to you, you can't combat that, right? So you got to walk in and you got to stand in that. And so even with your brothers, looking at them and watching them, and then I'm pretty sure some of them knew you were in abusive relationships.
Yeah, they just didn't say anything.
So with your brother fighting on his girlfriend as young as you was 8, and then she coming back and being with him. So then when you get with men and you see them, they fighting on you, and then y'all, baby, together. I'm sorry, y'all back together. So the cycle continues. It continues.
Because I felt like that was okay. I felt like that was a norm. Why not? Okay, you fight, you make up, you back together.
But it's crazy because you've seen it through your brother, but you never saw it through your mom and your stepdad.
I never saw it through my mom and my stepdad. I would hear them argue, but I never saw him put his hands on her. I never saw him even curse her out. He don't curse. He don't get loud. He's a very mellow type man. He doesn't do those things. So to even think about the situation with him and my dad getting into an altercation, I'm like, well, my dad had to be the aggressive one, right?
Yeah, and he just had to protect himself. So you knowing, even though your dad didn't physically die to the hands of your stepdad, you knowing that your stepdad shot your dad, where did it leave you in your emotions towards your stepdad?
So at the beginning, I wanted to be mad at him, but I couldn't be mad at him. I couldn't even have a different attitude with him when he would talk to me or say things, because I still felt like it wasn't his fault. It wasn't something that he tried to do. He was probably trying to protect himself, right? So I never could get to that point of not liking him or disrespecting him or coming against him for what had happened, because I really just didn't think it was his fault.
So the times that you got molested, and you say you had a good relationship with your stepdad, why did you never go and tell him?
So I probably didn't go to tell him because I felt like because he wasn't my real dad. There was a lot of things that I felt like I wanted from a dad that I wasn't getting. Because again, we talked about certain accomplishments and doing all the good things, but we never talked about my well-being. How am I? We didn't have those type of conversations. Like, he called me baby girl, but that was it. Like, it was no, let's sit down and have daughter daddy this or mother daughter, any of those things. I never had those.
So at the age of 40,
I'm 45.
45. Mm-hmm. So at the age of 45, have you ever felt like you've been protected by men?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Nope, I can't say I have.
Wow. Yeah. And like I go back all the time, your first love is your daddy.
Yeah.
Like, people don't want to accept it, but that's the truth.
Yeah.
In a relationship that you have with your daddy, a lot of time dictates the relationships that you have with me.
Absolutely.
You know, and, you know, with the grace of God, He'll allow us to work through it. You know, He'll allow us to see ourselves. He'll allow us to heal ourselves. But that's the most important part. I don't know why my throat getting dry. So, man, it's so much to unpack. So much to unpack. So you never felt seen. So you said at 25, enough is enough. Enough is enough.
I did not want to be hit on anymore. I didn't want to go through the abuse anymore. But it didn't stop there. It didn't stop there. Even though that I had that moment, it didn't stop there because the enemy continued to send people in that same form in my life. So it didn't stop there until I even remember stopping to say, my daughter stopped me to say, hey, mama, just be by yourself. Like, they were tired of seeing me go through abuse. They were tired of seeing me go through all the cycles of different men and trying to meet this person, get used to that person. They were tired. And when she said it, it literally pierced me and made me say, wow, maybe I do need to just be by myself. And I ended up being by myself for over 10 years.
Oh, wow. So what did being by yourself look like for 10 years? 10 years is a long time. 10 years is
a long time.
Yes, it is.
I felt like at that moment, when I didn't really realize it, I didn't realize that God was getting ready to set me on this journey of healing. I want to say healing. I didn't realize it. Like, things started coming up to where I knew I was supposed to be doing something different. And that's where my nonprofit comes in at 2014. The nonprofit started because God set me at a red light, and the light stayed red forever because I kept saying, I feel like God is telling me to do something. I didn't understand it, but I stayed at this red light, and I was talking to my kids, with just me and my kids in the car on FM 521. And we were at the light, and I just remember the Holy Spirit kept saying, it's something else you're supposed to be doing. Something else you're supposed to be doing. And I'm like, what am I supposed to be doing? And I'm sitting at the light going back and forth with him, right? But then my daughter, the same daughter that told me to be by myself, said, maybe it's something dealing with your past. It's something that you went through. Maybe it's because I had told them parts of my story by this time, and they were hearing like all the things, and they saw all the abuse. So it was something that needed to happen, but I couldn't figure it out. But then immediately I heard, go back and help those that look like you, those that have been through sexual abuse, those that have been through physical abuse. They need you. They need to know that, they need to know that they too can come out of something. So I said, okay, God, what is it that I'm going to do? So he said the bottom line, baseline was self-esteem, because everything that happens affects our self-esteem. But if we don't know our God-given identity, then how are we going to be able to heal, grow, and do all the things that God wants us to do if we don't go through this pattern of understanding, recognizing, and getting awareness? So right then and there, I said, okay, we're going to do this. And my daughter said, let's name it Positive Express. Positive Express came from knowing that we express ourselves in a positive way, but we're getting the healing, we're growing, and we're becoming God-given identity in a whole. We're being able to recognize our identity, which is something that I needed, right? So all of those things I needed to heal. I needed to grow. And every single thing that he has given me has been something where it not only impacts me and changed me, but it impacts them and transforms them as well. So every lesson, every event, everything has been for me, then them. And it's still continuing to this day.
Right. And it always starts with you, and it always starts with the yes. It always starts with the yes. So your daughter said, Mom, you should be by yourself. You went on this journey at 25. You started the nonprofit. Right. You started doing all these things in the community. But this is something that I wanted to go back to that I didn't hit on. You come from Missouri City.
Absolutely.
And so during the time you was growing up, Missouri City was considered the upper echelon. If you live in Missouri City, yeah, you was one of them ones.
Right.
So coming from that, because while we was on the phone, I went through your Facebook page and I found a picture of you at your 8th grade prom. And I said, oh my God, like you were beautiful. Yeah. But even in the 8th grade, you were suffering from identity.
Suffering from identity. Trying to still figure out who I am. So I would do what I thought everybody else was seeing. I would try to be that.
Right. And I tell people, like, even people that come from a good family, a good background, we get entangled and want to be like hood-like, right? Because even though that wasn't shown in front of you, you still gravitated towards that, right? And I was just appalled looking at that picture. I was like, oh my God, she's beautiful.
Thank you.
And just looking at that, I was like, wow. And even as a young girl, the enemy tried to stop you then, right? And so even you, God switched it. Your mom had all boys and one girl. You got all girls and one boy, right? And so even in that, like you had to go before them and kill what would destroy them because it was destroying you.
Absolutely.
So even that one particular daughter telling you, Mom, like leave it alone, give it up. Like how's your relationship with your girls, with them seeing you being abused? You know,
so I want to say, like, for my girls, they're all different, right? So my oldest daughter it was a struggle with her growing up, because she got to a point of her life where she felt like it was nothing that I could show her that I hadn't been through, right? I didn't show her what she thought was love. I wasn't loving on them because that was something that I heard her say. Like, I didn't hug them. And it wasn't because I didn't want to hug them. I wasn't shown that affection growing up, right? So I didn't know how to. I didn't even know how to say I love you because that was something that Tasha. I did not receive growing up, hearing the words I love you. And if I did hear them, I felt like they were fake. I didn't feel like they were telling the truth when they said it. So here I am trying to raise my girls, and my oldest daughter gets to a point where she feels like, I want to go live with my dad. She went to go live with her dad because she felt that she wasn't getting what she needed from me, right? So she went to live with him for like maybe 2 or 3 months and realized that wasn't what it was. She needed to come back home. So she came back home, but even coming back home, it was still a challenge. It was still a challenge that we would bump heads. We would get into it. So she's really different from me when it comes to protecting herself. She don't get into relationships so easily. She doesn't quickly say, I'm going to be with this person, because any sign of abuse, she's out.
Is this the daughter that be with her dad?
Yeah, she's with her dad still to this day. Like, they still talk.
So they got a relationship.
They have a relationship, but it was a moment in time where they did separate because she saw the patterns. She saw how he was treating people. She saw how he treated his ex-wife. She saw all the things, and she saw that he was not being that provider that she wanted, and she separated herself. But I had to, teach her forgiveness. So in the midst of me teaching her forgiveness, she got to a point where she can allow him back in and give him grace.
Man. So even with my mom, you saying it, a lot of parents, some people walked up to me after church when I did the first episode. I know we say we don't tell people we love them because it was not shown to us, right? And so we do follow behind the things that are taught to us. But I'm wondering, like, why does not being told that I love you or a hug and different things like that, like, why do it cut so deep?
I think for me, it cut deep because I wasn't receiving that from my mom. So me and my mom didn't have the best relationship growing up. It was, again, I felt rejected. I felt abandoned. I felt like that was my home girl. So like we went on weekends, we would shop, we would do all the things when it comes to that, getting beauty. But where was the actual embracements and being able to talk about things that I needed to know about? I didn't know what a good touch and a bad touch was because she didn't talk about those things. Those are things that we need to teach our kids at an early age. Stop waiting until we get older to make them understand, or wait till something happens, then say, yeah, they wasn't supposed to do X, Y, Z. You know, we have to get to a point where we're actually sitting down with our girls and having real life conversations so that they know, but without the world showing them.
Right.
Because once they're in the world gives them a different look, and that's all they know.
Yeah, that's one thing I do appreciate about my mom growing up. Every Sunday after church, we gonna lay across the bed and she gonna talk to us about real life. And my friends used to be like, "Friend, y'all be telling y'all mama what Nene, y'all be telling y'all mama that," and I'd be like, "Yeah." Like, my mom gave us a safe place to land, you know. And even into this day, certain things I still tell my mom.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I might call my mama first before I call
my and it's funny that you say that, because I still call my mama for everything, but the things that I knew that she wouldn't talk to me about, I couldn't call her. I couldn't call her about the abuse because I would hear words like, "He won't do it again," or it'll be different, you know. So I felt that moment, why am I going to keep calling her if she's going to say stuff like this? I might as well just deal with it on my own.
Right. And it was no other women figure in your life?
No other women figures on my mom's side. But on my dad's side, there were women. And even with me, when I first came out about the sexual abuse, I went to my aunt. And my aunt, all she could really say was, "There's a lot of things that happen, and we just don't talk about it."
Yeah, I don't know why they do that. Yeah. But I'm so glad the new millennial kids, they gonna tell it.
Yeah.
They gonna tell it.
They gonna tell
it. They gonna go on social media. They gonna get live. You gonna know what happened to them.
Right.
You know, but you know what? Now people tell it, right? But it's still no level of intimacy and trust, right? So it's like, I'm telling the world, but once I cut this off, who can I really trust? Like, I still need a safe place to land. And I'm so adamant about a safe place to land. And that's why I created this show, because people do need a safe place to land. Like, people do need to be able to look through the camera and say, "Oh my God, that's my story." You know, nobody was there for me. Nobody protected me. Nobody, you know?
Wow.
And I'm sure it's a grown woman right now, and the little girl is just screaming on the inside of her. You know, and to see you take your pain and make it into your purpose, you know, is a blessing. You know, and I hate that life had to go the way it went for you, but God had already mapped your life out. You know, but then too, God always give us a sound mind to make decisions as well.
Absolutely.
But like you say, if it's not presented in front of you, how do you know? You know, but man, we ain't even got to our stuff. Like, we haven't. But I just wanted to wet your throat with it. It's more. But Tasha is definitely a person. I will have all her information in the description, that if you want to reach out to her and talk to her about sexual abuse, whether if you're a grown woman, a kid, or dealing with self-esteem issues, like, this is what she do for a living. Tasha, tell the people, like, everything that you got going on that nobody knows nothing about. I didn't even know.
So, well, I do, like she said, I do have the nonprofit for girls that is ages 6 and up. It was 6 to 18, but God has given me the strength to even just surpass that, because there is still young adults that need my help. So I do have Positive Express. I have where I go into the prisons. I go into the prison. Right now I'm in a men's prison, so I am facilitating a group there. And I go into the juveniles to help the youth understand healthy and unhealthy relationships when I talk to them. I am a mentor at the school in Pearland as well as Missouri City. So I do mentor, and I also mentor inside group homes that are for trafficking girls. And all of these things are all God orchestrated, all of them. Because I am a Christian counselor, I am a pure recovery specialist, amongst many other titles that I carry. But God is the head of it all, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm just blessed to be able to do those things, and all the accolades. I have a day in Houston called Walk On It that is in May. What it is an empowerment walk where we help kids, not just kids, but everybody, overcome and walk over the things that have tried to hinder them, whether that be sexual abuse, whether that be mental, physical, verbal abuse, whatever it is that they have struggled with, because I can identify with those things, right? I can identify with suicide attempts. I've had 3. So this I know is all God, because without him, I could not do any of those things. So yeah, I have many hats. I do many things, and God is still pouring. He's still strengthening me in areas that I'm still trying to overcome. I'm dealing with a son right now that's incarcerated. So I'm learning that process even while I'm in the prison, right? Yeah. I am facilitating in the prison. So they have been my arms. They have been the ones holding me up through this process of being able to be there for my son, even on the days that he tries to show the verbal abuse. Mm-hmm. So I'm just grateful. And I'm grateful that I just got an award that I'll be getting in April. I'll be getting an April honorary doctorate award. Yeah.
Doctor. You heard her? So, Dr. Dearbone.
Right.
Okay.
So, yeah. So being a newly ordained minister, yes. God is just steadily showing me what he has for me. And I believe 2025 is not over yet. So I believe there's more to come.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And I cannot wait. I cannot wait to bring her back for part 2, y'all.
Yes.
Because it's a lot. We just talked about the first early stages of her life, with the not being seen, abandonment, rejection, molestation, abuse with different guys.
Absolutely.
And Tasha's going to come back and talk to you guys, because she said at 25, she said no more, right? Mm-hmm. But one thing about the trick of the enemy, you would think he's saying no more, but he'll still show back up, and he would test to see if you really say no more, and to test and see, like, are you living out what your purpose really is?
Yeah. He's going to test you also to see if you really forgave.
Okay. Did you forgive?
Yeah.
Or are you still suffering from that place, and are you still carrying the residue?
That part. The
residue. So yeah, I cannot wait to bring her back for part 2. And she's going to talk to you about her son. And that's what I want her to talk to you about. Absolutely. And how, like, a mother and her son relationship is so important. Absolutely. Just like a daughter and her daddy relationship is so important. Yes. And I'm so excited for you, Tasha.
Thank
and
you.
I'm so grateful to God. I promise, I did not know this lady had all this positive stuff going on. Oh, tell them about the panty drive.
Oh, so we do a yearly panty drive. I started it off with Texas Children in 2015, where we started giving packaged and clean, new packaged underwear to girls. And it was because I saw everybody doing the back to school stuff, and I asked God that, that wasn't something that I wanted to do, because everybody does it. But I heard the Holy Spirit say, do something that deals with confidence and self-esteem, because that is what your bottom line is, right? So I was talking to a young lady at the hospital, and she wanted to take a shower, but she refused to put on 2 gowns without underwear. And I said, that's what it is, underwear. So we started a drive where we collect packaged underwear to give to the girls that are in Texas Children's Hospital, as well as the group homes and the juveniles that I am affiliated with. And this is just a yearly thing that we do every September, an empowerment conference, and we collect underwear and give it to those that are needed.
Yes, and hygiene is very important.
Absolutely. It boosts your confidence, your self-esteem, makes you feel good about yourself. Yeah.
Man. At this time, man, y'all, man, this is an amazing woman sitting in front of this camera. And I always tell God, like, nobody walk is the same. They all the same. Like, we all still gonna meet right there in the center. We are. And yes. No, like, I be getting so excited when I'm doing this because I know like people need this.
Yes.
You know, they do. It's like I don't want to go down a rabbit hole, but just know like Tasha will be back.
Absolutely.
And she will be talking about the next chapter of her life from 25. Yeah. And she's she gonna let y'all women know.
Yeah, and a shameless plug. Go and check out some of my books on Amazon.
Oh yeah, she an author.
Yeah, I'm an author.
Tell the people, Tasha.
Yeah, so I have books. I have over 16 books out right now. Collaborative books, children books, where it talks about the turbulence of self-esteem. Shade Number Pain is your series of different abuses, and there's a workbook as well that goes with that one. But go and check them out on Amazon or get with me, Pt.1, so you can find out more information.
Yes, and it's definitely going to be in the description. Yeah. Wow, 16 books.
16.
Yes.
Fruits of the Spirit, the whole works.
And we all need some self-esteem. Yeah. Because we can put clothes on and look good and think and baby, when you close that door, right, that's a whole nother ball game. Yeah. So you got to be able to look good, feel good.
Absolutely.
But not from the outside in, from the inside out.
Take the mask off.
Yes. Oh, man. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. But man, I pray that this story was inspiring to you. I really do. Please like, comment, subscribe to this station, y'all. Yesterday, I hit 100 subscribers. I'm so excited.
Yes.
Authentically, God is growing the platform. I cannot wait to see what he does in my life for 2026.
Yes, Lord.
Email us at speakunspokentv.com. Yeah, I'm just happy. Yes. I am. I'm happy because the enemy tried to stop me. Yeah. The enemy tried to tell me that I was country, that people was not going to understand what I'm saying. I'm loud. I'm this and I'm that. And once I made a decision to say, you know what, this must go forward because God told me to do this. God said, Francesca, you are the bridge. Everybody not a celebrity.
Come on, say that again.
Everybody not a celebrity. You know, and people need this. Yeah. They need this. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much. And again, Tasha, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. This has been great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So until next time, speak unspoken.